Good afternoon, and a very quick elevation to the captain to hear for Bobby Goulding. A proud moment for him to lead Leeds out, and he it was who kicked the ball, and it was Paul Newlove who had a game yesterday, of course, at Central Park for Great Britain as well, who fielded it. This is Ian Smales back in and testing that dislocated shoulder of his. Clark. Tutu was in there as well. And it says much for the demands on today's players, David, that people like Newlove and Schofield are here, and Derek Fox, of course, all in action yesterday for Great Britain.
Well, that's right, but they know that their club comes first more often than not, and they know too that points today are precious for both sides.
Fox's kick, fielded by John Bentley. And I'm sure no matter how long John Bentley plays the game of rugby league football, he'll never score a better try than the one he got at Wigan last week.
Well, he's an incredible guy. He's so strong, and he does break tackles, and when he does go, he motors quite well, and he did that at Wigan last week.
The man motoring there was Roy Powell. And the first penalty is awarded by referee Ian Ollerton of Wigan to Leeds. But it's a good 45-yarder. And it's got the distance, but has it got the height? It has. It's got the height, it's got the direction, it's got everything. And it's got 2 points for Leeds on the board.
Well, they couldn't wait for a better start than that.
2 points to nil. Malloy, powerful runner. Leeds signed him from Warrington last year. Goulding, Devorty. There's talk of Gary Devorty moving to Wakefield Trinity before the start of the season, but he's still here and playing quite well at the moment. O'Neill looks to get into a gap, looks to get the ball out. Nobody's there to take it from him. Powell. Richard Gunn, offside, so this should be more points for Leeds. So they can set themselves up now for Simon Irving to add 2 more points. It looks very straightforward. And Irving makes it straightforward, and Leeds have a 4-point lead. Manning, he's forceful, and he barges up to opponents and keeps going. And he's got rid of Phil Ford as well, and he's got it inside. And this will be a score for Owen Simpson. And what excellent play by Terry Manning to open the way for Owen Simpson at the day's first try. Oof, he's just done it. He's squeezed inside the upright. And 6 points to 4, and a yellow card has been shown to Morvin Edwards. And Leeds also make a double substitution, bringing on Schofield and Dixon in place of Shaw and Creaser. So Doug Lawton very unhappy about everything at the moment. Featherstone opt to go to the right with Tuta. The long ball out wasn't good, but Ikram Butt has picked it up, and Ikram Butt scores for Featherstone. A second try in 2 minutes for Featherstone Rovers, and Ikram Butt, the former Leeds player, has come back to Headingley and got a try. Sweet moment indeed for Ikram Butt, who lives not very far from the ground here. And I think this scoreline is an indication again of what a tight division it's going to be this season. This is the last tackle though. And, well, that's gone right up in the air from Martin Pearson. And, knocked forward by Smales. And then he followed through. And Carl Gibson remonstrating there, because he really did follow through. Ian Smales. And the Leeds man who is down on the ground.
Well, let's just watch it, because it wasn't the best of kicks. In fact, it wasn't a man who can kick very well at all, because it's just gone up in the air. But it's waiting to come down. Smales tries to retain himself, can't do, goes to, but it really was an off-the-ball incident. He'd be very lucky to get away with that.
Morvin Edwards is the player needing treatment. Smales stands alone and waits for his punishment. and he's been sent off. Stuart Walker is just having words with Morvin Edwards as well, and he's telling him he's got to go off for his 10 minutes. I certainly don't think he would be able to answer you if you asked him what time it was.
No, it was rather silly to stay on even in those circumstances. I mean, he really did take a blow there. There was no doubt about that at all. And the wisest thing of all is to get him off. And, of course, you have an able deputy now in David Creaser to come back on.
I said there was a bit of feeling in the match earlier. That will only have been intensified by that incident. And you can sense it with the crowd as well. They're really roaring. Gunn, Schofield, Dixon. A tangle of arms and legs, and the ball emerges for Schofield to send Powell driving forward. Still he goes, Roy Powell, as industrious as ever. Schofield, oh, he slipped his man, beautifully done. Phil Ford comes up into the line, and Phil Ford gets his man John Bentley over. Try for Leeds. Bentley the scorer, and immediately Leeds have taken toll of the extra man.
Well, it's not so much the extra man as the sort of enthusiasm and commitment they've now decided to put back into their game. But it's that man Schofield again who makes the first break, and then Ford goes on the outside. Again, his poor tackling, allowing the wing to come in, leaving his man free. Bentley says thank you.
The Featherstone lead has been cut to 10-8.
What Leeds are doing, they are starting to put their game together a bit. Their forwards are coming up quicker in attack, in defence, I beg your pardon. And what they are doing in attack now is moving it out wide, because they see that as making use of the extra man.
There's got to be a chance here. There are men outside of Dixon. One of those men is Devorty. He's gone for the line, and here's a score. Morvin Edwards pops up from nowhere, and the New Zealander puts Leeds back into the lead.
Well, this is what they have to do, to move it out wide to make the extra man. But there was a little more to it than just that, because it was a superbly timed pass. Dixon, again not held by the man, got it away. And it was Devorty's good skill in coming back inside, again taking two men out of the tackle. Edwards, as all good backs should be in support, comes up and takes it under the sticks.
A sliding triumph for Morvin Edwards, his third try then. That makes it 14-10. The Simon Irving conversion carries Leeds back into a 4-point lead. Ox, Newlove. Now he loses it in the tackle, and it's Bentley's turn to go. Round one defender, round another. And the touch judge is on, and Featherstone have another man in trouble. Tim Sharp's tackle.
We just watch how he goes above him, but I don't know whether or not first reaction was that he probably didn't, but I mean, he caught hold of him here. Just watch when he comes in. Suppose it was round the neck. I don't think it was too harsh a tackle.
But Tuta walks to the dressing room. 11 men, can they hold out? They're trailing anyway, of course. Leeds just holding on and looking for a killer score now. A try at this stage might well deflate Featherstone. And Schofield, it spins towards the line. Spins a yard short of it. Desperate times for Featherstone Rovers. Smales is off, Tuta is off. O'Neill is coming towards their line. And if Leeds score now, I think that will finish Featherstone's challenge. They might get it. Goulding. Still Goulding. He's going towards the middle of the sticks, and Paul Dixon is over at the side of the sticks. And that's good enough for Leeds, I think. A clinching score. Well, it's too early to say that, but Dixon carries them further in front.
Well, this was worthy of a try, whether there was 11 men on the field or 13, because when Goulding had this ball here, he started to make his own space. He was well collared by players, but spun off and left three of them on the floor. But it's this pass on the inside here to bring Bentley, Dixon on the inside will really turn the tide.
It's another success for Simon Irving. And Leeds stretch their lead to a convincing one, really, for the first time in the match. They're 10 points clear. Oh, it's good work here again, and Dixon streaks towards the line. He's going to make it all the way. It's Paul Dixon. An excellent Dixon score, and he has turned the tide the Leeds way now. His second try in 5 minutes, and that surely is it.
Well, a superb combination here, because it's a well-timed pass when he does come to Gary Schofield, but really it's that man Dixon who runs and takes it on the burst, comes and straightens up, and that always makes it harder for the defence. You have great difficulty in tackling somebody who's turning it on the inside, and despite the tackle, he gets over.
He's an international forward with an excellent pedigree for try scoring. He's taken his tally now in his career to 112, and that's good going for any forward. And Irving's booth really takes Leeds into overdrive. They're not going to be caught now. 26 points to 10, and their foot firmly on the pedal.
Determined and straight run in here by Paul Dixon turns the defence, because if you run hard at the defence and then turn inside as he did do, it's difficult to tackle a man. And Paul Newlove chased, but he couldn't get him low, tried to take him high. Dixon carried him over.
Featherstone have healed it. They needed that badly. And Pearson, who's run strongly all day, comes onto it well. He's certainly not given up. Featherstone haven't given up. Here's Casey. And he gets it away. There are chances for Featherstone. Terry Manning's only a few yards out, and Derek Fox has got to get that ball back. If he had done, I think Manning would have scored. He's deserved a try today. Trevor Clark over the line. And the Trevor Clark score for Featherstone Rovers. I think it's probably going to be too late for them. Fox has kicked only one goal so far. He's now kicked two, and it's 26-16. He's looked dangerous whenever he's been in possession as well. The longer ball, they've not given up Featherstone by any means, and they've got chances here, all right. Casey, the long pass out for Newlove, he'll make it. Paul Newlove has really brought Featherstone back into it and kept the match alive. It's 26 points to 20 now. Leeds 26, Featherstone 20. And that's the way it ends. Two very hard-won points for Leeds. They started as the favourites on the back of their victory at Wigan last week. But my word, Featherstone have given them a run for their money here at Headingley this afternoon.